Like, no. You gonna do it?
Yeah,
you can do it. Yeah.
It's hard not to.
Let me see. Where's my thing?
Just wanna like. Do they have names?
No, I didn't name them. You could name them. You know what? You gonna name them?
Both?
Yeah, both. I'll let you name mine too.
Okay, wait. Give me until the end of the segment to think about something special.
Okay, think about 2 names. All right. Welcome to episode number 5 of PBI, powered by Influence. I have Samantha Kris with me.
Hey.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Really appreciate it. I'm gonna get to this.
Let's just get right into it.
I'm gonna get to this because I've been wanting to ask you this question. Self-publish, how did you do it?
Dude, it was a process. It was so much went into it. Where do I start? I started with the story. So actually, I have a business coach of my own, and I was asking her, how do I stand out?
So wait, so you are a business coach and you have a coach?
Of course.
So it's like a therapist who has a therapist?
Yeah, you need to do it. I can't be preaching to the people that I'm working with saying, this is things you have to do when I'm not staying up to speed with what's happening. I need to continually evolve so that I can bring that learning to the clients I work with.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're talking to your therapist.
She does.
Therapist.
Yeah, she's kind of, there are days, definitely. And when I was first starting, I was saying, how am I going to set myself apart? And how do I come to terms with the fact that this term coach is so overused? Like, everyone and their mother can be a coach. And so what can I do to really make me stand out? And she's like, well, have you ever considered writing a book? And I did at the time, and it wasn't this one. And so I was...
What happened to that book?
It's coming. It's coming.
Okay, so it's still in the process. It's not in the garbage or something.
It's not in the garbage,
okay,
no.
Okay.
But it was not related to my business. It was more of a passion project. And she said, listen, if you're going to write a book, your first book should really be targeting the audience that you want to attract as your clients.
Okay.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, 100%.
So I started thinking, what topic do I know enough about that I can write a decent piece of literature? And I thought about my story, and I thought about how I was able to get 5 promotions in 5 years, and I doubled my salary in that time. And then I started my business, and I was like, what was under the hood? What was I doing that other people can do? And that's what sparked Bossing Up. So I looked into how am I going to get this story into the hands of the people who would really appreciate it. And it would cost upwards of $10K to get an agent and to get it in the right hands of major publishers, and I just didn't have it. Okay. So the idea of self-publishing became very appealing.
And because you're saving that $10,000.
Exactly, and I had just started my business, right? $10 grand is a lot.
Yes, 100%.
And so yeah, I embarked on the process of self-publishing. I hired help. Definitely, I didn't go at it alone. There are people that you can hire that will help you through the self-publishing process. So I had my designer, I had a developmental editor, I had a grammatical editor, and a woman who's really great to help me through making sure it was fully and properly put up on Amazon and registered properly. So yeah, I'm actually hosting a self-publishing masterclass on February 18th, which goes through the entire process. It's a full day event. So
okay, so I didn't get the chance to read it or open it.
Shame on you.
I know, shame on me, right? This is the thing. I love books. I love reading, but I don't read. And I'll tell you why. Audiobooks. When I was a kid, I had a tutor. The school would give me a free tutor because, I didn't do my homework, so that way, maybe she would help me do my homework. She would tell me that I'm going to give you a book.
Always thinking.
She would tell me that I would bring you out for dinner, but I give you a book, one book a week. You read it. If you're able to summarize it for me at the end of the week, I'll bring you out for dinner. I'm like, hell yeah. I started reading, I'm reading. And then once I grow older, I'm like, screw that shit. I'm afraid of reading books. It's big. But audiobooks. Now, how many pages are there? Hold up. How many pages do you have? 317.
Yeah.
Right, more or less?
But there's pictures.
Right, there's pictures, give or take few, right? But why do you just go and be like, you know what? I want to write a book of 317 pages. It's my first book.
Yeah.
I don't want to take it easy on me, right? Why a big book like this?
So, to be fair, when I started writing, it was in a Google Doc, and it was just like scrolling for days. I didn't know how many pages it would end up being. I actually was shocked when I had the first one printed. I was like, well, this is legit.
This I'm looking at it, I'm like, yo, I see this like on Indigo or something. Indigo, yo. Bossing
Get
up,
on
put it
it.
up, right? I see this on Indigo, right? It's super well done. The quality's super good.
Thanks.
I actually like the fact that it's like a little yellowish inside.
Yeah, it's a cream.
Cream paper. I always find this fancy, like cream paper, cream notepad. It's cost a little more normally, but
Worth it, that extra touch.
right, exactly. The quality is super good. I love the feel.
Thank you.
But
But why?
but why? That's what it is. Why would someone want to self-publish, right? Or why would someone even want to write a book? Especially, I mean, you know, you're a success coach. I mean, you're doing great. But when I saw the name of the book, you're obviously running the Facebook group.
Yeah.
Bossing Up. Does this have anything to do with that group, or did that group come first and then the book, or was it the book and then the group?
So the group actually existed first. It existed under Service Swap. So what initially started as a community for entrepreneurs to just exchange their services and help each other grow and promote what was going on. When I saw the opportunity for it to be beyond just swapping services, but swapping knowledge, sharing our wins, our losses, really supporting each other, it was more than an exchange. It was about elevating your inner boss, and that's how Bossing Up was born. And when simultaneously, as the group was evolving, was when I was really getting into like elevating my business and speaking with my coach, and that was just a natural fit for the name of the book. So the group has really grown as the book has been getting published. Yeah.
How many people do you have on the group right now?
Just over 2,200.
2,200. Hold up. You have, 2209. And I think comparing to any other group on Facebook that I'm on, this is what like rings the most. I swear, I kid you not.
Does it annoy you, or is it a good thing?
No, it's a good thing.
Okay. You're like, mute?
No, it's actually haven't muted it yet. No, I'm kidding. Because I post on it because I post on it myself. Right. I don't know if you realize or not. I do. I do post on it very often. Actually, let me just like this because you post it, right? I'm like.
Is it the post about this podcast?
Yeah, exactly.
Of course you gotta like it,
right? But when I saw the name of the book, I'm like, and then the name of the group, I'm like, why Bossing Up? I mean, why that name? I mean, you could have named it so many other things, but why does this name? Because I feel like this name has a meaning for you.
It does. I feel like I grew as the book grew, as the group grew, and it is about, you know, you've got this kind of like, the people in the group anyway have this fire inside them that they just want to have come to the surface, and they want to harness something that's within them and share it with the world, give it out. And it's this, and I say it's, you know, the subtitle of the book, I'll say it again, is the act of elevating your inner boss. And so you know it's in there. You need some help bringing it out. You need some support. You need some resources. And that's what the group does. And so it was a natural evolution and a good fit for the name.
Okay. And then now with this book, it's on Amazon.
It is.
Where else?
On my website, and I'm actually starting a Canadian tour with chapters. So
congratulations.
Thank you. It's not on the shelves yet, but the intention is once I do my book signing there, that they will consider it. So
Indigo and chapters are the same. So you're already on there.
I'm not on there.
Almost.
Almost.
So you're doing a book signing with them?
Yep. So far I have Montreal, Ottawa, and Toronto in the works.
Okay.
So working on getting Vancouver as well. And keep it moving. I'd love to get even more in Canada and the States. I mean, that's the big one for me.
That's the place, States.
Yeah, exactly.
States. We're going to continue with Samantha and her book, Bossing Up, and we're going to talk a lot more, but we'll be right back. Welcome back. I have Samantha with me. We're just talking about her book, bossing up, I was just telling her how good the quality is, and I've said it a couple of times and I want to emphasize on quality of something, because I think often a lot of people lack on that because they want to push. I'm all about documenting. I'm all about just go do it.
Right.
But you don't want to have a shit product either, right? So
you don't.
the fact that you came up with such a beautiful product, the page it's simple, it's nice, it's clean. The back has your picture. It's just the whole thing itself is super nice.
Thank you.
I'm gonna put this aside for a second. I'm gonna put it here so like it faces the camera. So, you know. I'm gonna send you a bill afterwards.
Thank you. It'll be well worth it. I mean, look at this, guys. Look at this product placement.
Right, product placement. Right. I wanna go back. I really wanna go back. I wanna go back. I wanna know who Samantha was before, you know, bossing up, before success coach, before, you know, this. Where do you come from? Who are you? Like, I want to know it all, right? Because I want people like whoever's watching and whoever's going to be watching, you know, at some point in our life we all thought, like, either we thought it to ourselves or either someone has told us, why don't you write a book? Mm-hmm. We have all thought about it, right? But then we're like, what, you know, what am I going to share, right? But I think we all have a story. You know, we all have a voice. You used yours brilliantly. But
you haven't read it yet.
What?
You haven't read it yet.
I'm looking at, well, this is I think your image shows on that group. Okay. And I'll tell you, I absolutely love the group. And if you guys are not on it, you know, go on it, check it out. It's Bossing Up, right?
Bossing Up members.
Bossing Up. Because you have so many people that are supporting you. And I think when people support you, you know it's quality, you know it's good, you know there's value to it.
Right, and supporting each other, which honestly is incredible.
Right,
That's my favorite part.
And you're not making any money out of it either, right? So it's free. So like I would get it. I'm like, okay, listen, she's doing it because she's making a couple of grand a month because of the group. There's nothing. I mean, unless you are, but I highly doubt. Right. So it just comes to a point where why go through the whole process? So there must be a story behind it to what. So before all of this, who was Samantha? Who were you growing up?
My God, I've always been like a little baby boss. Like there's been a baby boss in me since I was this big. I was very entrepreneurial at heart. I would be the one making bracelets and selling them at the pool, or finding rocks at the park and painting them as pet rocks and selling them to my neighbors, or making Christmas cards. So that idea of turning an idea into a business and genuinely seeing people happy, whether it was, you know, they've got friendship bracelets or the card was like so great for their child, or that even maybe they're just supporting me, but the point was that seeing whatever I made could make people happy really planted the seed for wanting to do that when I was older. And I kind of lost a little bit of that entrepreneurial vision when I went to school, and it was just, now it's time to get a job, and it's just, that's the flow of things, right?
Was it the mentality that you grew up in a home that where it was like, you know, go to school, get a job?
Yeah, I mean, I have very creative, almost like entrepreneurial style parents, but for the most part, they had very secure jobs. They actually all had their own businesses, but their main source of income was a 9-to-5 job. So that's what I saw.
Where are you from? Are you originally from here?
I'm from here, yeah.
Your parents are from here?
Yep.
So you're like Canadian?
I'm as from here as they get.
They get?
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously, I think that's all parents, and I talked about it in my last show, that parents want you to go to school, get a degree, and get a job. Now, when your parent, I mean, you're saying that yes, they did have businesses on the side and everything, mm-hmm. But their main source of income, that they had that stability, that right. guarantee of a paycheck every 2 weeks, right? Yeah. How did you go to them and be like, listen, you know what? That's not for me. Like, I want to spread my wings and fly.
Yeah, I'm really fortunate to come from a very open-minded, creative family. So there was no really going to them. It was, I have my university degree. I have a couple degrees actually, and I tried different things. Human relations and criminology. So. Okay. Youth and adult correctional intervention actually. And I started out of university, I was an addictions counselor.
Okay.
And I was, I learned very quickly that that wasn't for me. It was too heavy of a job. From there, I went into wedding planning. From there, I went into marketing for a business. That was my corporate. That's where I did a lot of my learning and development as a professional. And when I left there, I was in a position where I had the opportunity to think about starting my business. And it was not, oh my gosh, how am I going to tell my parents? It was just like, hey guys, this is now what I'm doing. And they were like, I think that's great. That's actually very needed. And we know a lot of people who could benefit from those types of services. And it was a very natural fit. And no one was like, really?
Hell, I wish that would have happened to me, eh? Like, no? To me, not. Like, for me, it was totally the opposite. I go to my mom, I'm like, I want to open a business. She's like, what? I'm like, nothing. I'm gonna go do my homework. No, but and that's a lot. I mean, that you had it easy in that way when it comes down to the family portion of the part.
I don't come from a very traditional family, so I don't have those same expectations of a traditional future.
Like for them is do what you're gonna enjoy and love,
very
right?
much so.
Okay, so did they help you with anything, or they're like, listen, we're cool with it, but you're gonna do your shit by yourself?
I mean, help. They're super supportive. I think that's honestly what got me through some tough times getting started, and just making sure that I had the mental capacity to keep going. But I mean, this is completely self-funded. This is completely self-grown, and I mean, their love is invaluable. But as far as any help that I received, I mean, this is me building it from the ground up.
Like no one gets credit but me. You know, right?
Love you, Mom.
Listen, I love you, but it's my credit, my shit, right? Like, no, I get it. But I think this is why it becomes so valuable, right? And this is why you love it so much, and this is why
it's my baby.
It's your baby, right?
Yeah.
Talking about babies, any kids?
No kids.
No kids. Marriage?
No, not married.
No. I'm married. Sometimes. Sometimes. No, that's not it. But do you think for all these other women entrepreneurs out there, and I'm gonna bring this in, and I think I might get attacked later on by some people.
Keep the pitchfork down.
But I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna ask because you're a woman, and obviously I have
yeah, right.
Yeah. I have a wife who's I think happily married sometimes. Again, I think that often once a woman might get married or whatnot, they might think that they might not be able to do something. What do you think of that? Do you think?
I think that's valid. I was married, and I was married before I started this, and it was a challenge to embrace this entrepreneurial lifestyle and really like scrap the solid income and the projection that I had going on and the stability, and say that I want to jump into something completely new. And it was scary, and it was threatening, and it was not well received for a number of reasons. And I mean, I get it. I really, really do. But yeah, it's tough. It's tough for women to think, how can I plan for my future and be a good partner and still
be independent
and fulfill a life that I feel I'm made for. It's tough.
How tough? Like, because some people say, like, I don't, like, I'm married, I want to, be a good wife, do everything that a wife needs to do everything that a mother needs to do, but I still want to follow my dreams, my passion, my love for things, for whatever it is.
Right.
For whatever it is. I mean, do you think that they should go for it, or they should focus on their marriage?
Oh, it's hard to say. I mean, it's not tough for everyone. I mean, some people can really find the balance, and it's beautiful and it works. And I don't think it would be fair to say they should do one thing or the other. They should do what makes them happy. And if being in that marriage and finding a way to fulfill your creativity in other areas is a possibility, then it can totally work. It can totally work, yeah.
Right. We're going to continue talking about this, so if anyone's going to type me bad messages or whatnot, do it now.
No, I think you're doing okay.
I'm doing okay?
Yeah.
You think I'm doing okay? No married women and husbands are going to come and throw shit at me, no?
Maybe they might throw shit at me.
we're gonna continue with this whole thing. It's gonna be long, so stay tuned, and we'll be right back. Good. Welcome back. We're talking about the book. Then from the book, we started talking about who Samantha was. Then we talked a little bit about marriage. Now, what I want to know, it's right before the break, you're saying you wrote in the book. Why did you want to share like that personal part of your life?
Oh, I like that question.
Because it's never easy, right? It's never easy. When you're typing, you're like, I was married. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
and that's just one of the things,
right?
That one of the personal experiences that I share. But when the first pass of the book was actually, didn't have any personal experiences, not much of a personal touch, and I sent it to my developmental editor, and I was like, this is so good, what do you think? And she's like, yeah, it's good, but it looks like every other book out there.
Every other book out there.
I have this proprietary way of goal setting, which is kind of exciting to me and to some of the people who use it, but outside of that goal setting methodology, there's not a whole lot that's proprietary about the book. And I knew that going in. And she was like, the reason people are going to like it and who are going to want to read it from cover to cover is that they feel that they can connect to you as an author. And so you need to like give us a little more about how these things help you as a person. And I had to get into some personal shit in order for you to know how it benefited me and how it can benefit you, because it's not just business. It's about how you as a person can develop professionally and personally, and you're going to need to understand how those two worlds blend.
Now, how hard it is when you're typing all these personal shit, right? Because it's never easy to talk about your personal life, like knowing that it's a book, and knowing that you have a platform. Because I mean, bossing up Facebook page, I personally believe that it's a great platform where you can push product, where you can, you know, talk, ask for help, where you know you can share your losses, you can share your gains. Knowing that you had a platform like that where people would obviously either buy the book or either whoever bought the book would talk about it. I mean, did you feel that people would judge you, or when you were typing all those things, like how hard was it to be like, okay, like I feel comfortable enough to share this. Like, what was the process of being able to, you know, to share that? Okay, I was married, and then this, and then like, what was the process for you to get to that?
So the group, I feel, is a very safe place. And like I said, because I was kind of making the transition with the group as I was writing the book, I wasn't worried that I would feel judged by the members, because that's what it was for. That was the place I created and that people have helped to create for that reason. But for everyone outside the group, it was a little scary. I mean, there's a lot of vulnerability in there, and you don't know.
Because they're knowing your personal, you're telling them about your personal life, right?
And you don't know how that's going to be received. But when I was going through the process and I would see that cursor blinking at me on the screen, and I'm like, oh, here it comes. Like, all right, pour my heart out. And I mean, there were several rounds of edits. There are some things I chose not to put in. There are some things that I elaborated on more than I expected to. And it was honestly pretty therapeutic. I really like to journal, and so I write a lot, and it was, you know, love me or hate me, this is
me,
and
right?
You want my story, this is part of it. And the feedback has actually been really, really great, which has been very nice, because when you release it out into the world, you're like,
fingers crossed.
Pitchforks down. So yeah, it's been really good, and I'm happy I did it, because it was a lot of people, whether it's through marriages, changes in careers, self-confidence, and just like general life tips that are good to have, they've expressed so much gratitude that I was able to put it in a context of how it helped me personally as well, that they were like, it makes sense how I can use this in my life now.
So now you're an author, so that we got it out of the way. Right? That's out of the way.
Right.
Let's talk about your business.
Yeah.
I mean, right? Because this is passion, this is love, this is you wanting to share your story, this is you wanting to help people learn and and understand and everything. But unfortunately, this doesn't pay the bills.
Yet.
Right? Yet. Knock on wood.
New York Times bestseller. Right? You just wait.
Right? You have a business. You're doing well. I've heard good things. Only good things. Haven't heard any bad things. Even if I did, I wouldn't tell you. But
I would be okay with it though.
Right? No. I've only heard good things about you. And I think this is why I was like, you know what, I got to get her on it, right? And it's at a point where we're booked all the way until April. Like, we're literally booked all the way until April. Like,
good for you guys.
I was like, I did not expect that. I was like, oh my God, who am I going to bring? I'm going to have a hard time. But then I contacted, like, you is the first time I'm meeting you.
Yeah.
Right? But we spoke on Facebook, you know, we shared posts. I've liked your posts, you have liked mine and whatnot. So being a success coach, what is a success coach? Like, I mean,
I'm really happy you asked, because
what do you do?
That's so many people are like, what do you do with your time?
Like, what do you do? Like, do you wake up and you're like, you're going to be successful today? Like, you're like a fortune cookie, you know?
End of story.
Knock me on my forehead. Woo, you're going to be successful today. Like, you know, like what is a success coach? I mean, what do you do?
Okay, good, valid question.
Right?
So people will typically come to me, most of them are entrepreneurs, when they've brought their business as far as they can on their own.
Okay.
And for one reason or another, they're stuck. They, financially have capped, personally are blocked. They're looking at it and they're thinking, okay, I know I've got more in me, but I don't know what the next step is. So I work with them to see, where they're at, where they're stuck, where they want to go. And through my business experience and almost 10 years of marketing experience, I'm able to say, okay, so, and having worked with people for a long, long time, this is what is going to be needed to get from point A to point B, and I propose a success plan that's customized to them, their business, their situation in real time, and I keep them accountable every step of the way. So I meet with them regularly to say, okay, where are we at with this? And whether it's building a sales page, whether it's expanding into new audiences, whether it's
so you're the guidance counselor type of thing. You're the mom, you're the dad who's keeping them straight to focus, right?
Yeah. There's a lot of guidance.
How often do people they start? Because I think for what you do, it requires patience. And it requires patience. when I work with corporate clients, like sometimes I just want to punch them in the face. I hope none of my clients are watching this. But I think it requires a lot of patience from you, but also from your clients.
Totally.
Because sometimes they'll come to you, like I said, they're expect to knock on your forehead and be like, oh, here, you have done it, right? Because a lot of people expect it. Like, I'm going to go to this person and all of a sudden tomorrow morning I'm going to wake up and everything is where I want to be. How do you deal with that? Like when people come to you, because obviously a lot of people come to you with, high expectation.
Right.
And they expect it to be done fast. But success doesn't happen overnight.
Right.
How do you process that information to them to let them know that, hey, you know what, it's going to take time. You're going to have to be patient, but you're also going to have to do the grind and do the hustle.
Right.
But it has to be constant as well. How do you transfer that information to them?
Part of that is I very rarely do one-off sessions. So you're not just going to call me and be like, yo, I need to be successful. What do you got?
But that's what most people do, right?
Not actually who get to the point of calling me. So I have on my website kind of what my services are, so you really know that these are things that I'm working with you on that are not an overnight fix. And so by the time you go and fill out the form and you email me, you have an idea of you've been stuck for a long time, and if it was an easy fix, you would have figured it out.
You would have done it by now.
And I propose, it's really different per person, but I typically don't like to work with someone for less than 3 months, because you need to be as committed as I am to your success, and it's going to take at least that long to see significant change and to build a habit.
So nothing less than 3 months.
Right. So that sets the tone right before, because I offer a free consultation, so right before they've invested any money is you know that you're getting yourself into.
Are you available for the next 3 months?
Right. So it helps to get them in the mindset of this is going to be a shift. I have to set my expectations accordingly, and I know this is going to be a lot of work. But they often leave with homework, I leave with homework. So I'm an extension of their team. For those 3 months, it's not just ciao, go work on yourself and call me when you're ready. It's I've got
you
stuff.
got to constantly follow up with them.
Right.
Have you done this? Have you done that? Have you done that? How often do people, once they start and they're like, screw this, I don't want to do it anymore? Like, how often has it been that a company, like, you know, yes, obviously you're there to guide them to success, but do all of them actually make it? Not because of your services, but because they're at a dead end.
Make it in a success, like make it so that they are succeeding, or make it to the end of the program?
Make it till the end of the program.
Yeah, I've never had anyone not finish the 3 months.
That's a good success rate right there.
Yeah.
100 on 100.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly have incredible clients who by the time they come to me, they're like, we need something else. Bring a fresh perspective, bring new ideas. I'm gonna try, because what we're doing is clearly not working.
All right, we're gonna continue talking about all of this, talking about success coaches and talking about the whole process. It's not a knock on the forehead, and you don't point out people and say, you know, you're gonna be successful. We'll be right back right after this short break. We're back. We're back. We talked about the book. We talked about being married. We talked about, you know, how being married can affect someone's growth or the choices or the path. We talked about
contribute to,
you know, we talked about what a success coach is. We talked about your 100% ratio. Now I want to talk about competition. Do you have any competition in this city? Is there someone else doing what you do?
Oh, not that I've met personally, which doesn't mean that they're not out there. But even if they had the same title, I think we would offer very different services, because what I am offering is tied so closely to my own experience and to my way of goal setting that, not to say like ain't nobody can compete, but we would just offer very different things. I mean, a lot of people will frequently mistake me for a business coach, and there are certainly business coaches and incredible ones, and I'm friends with them, and I actually refer clients.
I'm raising my hand. I'm like, I'm one.
There you go. I actually refer clients to my friends who are business coaches.
Well, I'm not a coach. We're a consultant. It's very different. We're very I'm very corporate in that sense. I don't give a shit about your feelings, type of sense.
I kind of care about their feelings.
Well, I mean, you have to, because you have to, because me, I deal with product. I deal with company launches. I don't care about who's doing it. I mean, that's why people like you are there.
There we go. Balance.
Right, balance, right? I mean,
go us.
Right, and I think this is one mistake a lot of people do. They try to be everything. They're like, I'm going to be the success coach, so I'm going to show you how to be successful. I'm also going to show you how to launch your product, but I'm also going to show you how to do your contracts. I'm also going to show you how to be a good father, and how to be a good husband, and how to be a good dad, and how to be a good uncle. And I'm like, stop. Like, take a step back. I mean, obviously you want to grow as a business, but you have to know what your limitations are.
And that's what the & Co is in my business name. So my company is Samantha Kris & Co, and I know where my expertise ends and where we need to start considering bringing on other help. So whether that's design, product marketing specialists, whatever the case is, email marketing specialists, these are all things that I have knowledge on, but I wouldn't feel comfortable saying, yeah, I'm the one to really launch this for you. And so my network, and a lot of them are in the group, are people who I end up contracting or working on a freelance basis to say, okay, now I've got a client who's ready to take their business to the next level, and they're going to need help with printing, with promotion, with email marketing. And it's like a nice, like we're contributing to the economy.
Too many people think they can do it all. It's like, listen, you know, like I like singing, and I say this to my wife. I love singing, but my like, it's in the bathroom. That's it. I'm not gonna sing. Just because I own a microphone doesn't mean I'm going to start becoming a singer, right?
Well, if you've got a good voice.
I would sell a couple of, like, I would like maybe in the street of India, you know, I'll try to sell my my mixtape, you know, you know, here, take it, you know what I mean? Not here, that shit won't sell here, like, you know.
I'll take your word for it.
Like, right, but I mean, you know, like you have to know what you're good at.
I agree.
You know, too many people is like, you know, like it's like I'm not LeBron James. You know, like yeah, I might play basketball on
Right.
PS3, like PS4 right now. Sorry.
Not even in real life.
Like not even real life. Don't forget it. Like I'm there on my couch, like one game, and I'm losing by 50 to a computer. I'm like, what? Funniest thing, I tried to the other night. I got home like at 10:30. She was cooking dinner. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna play a game. And I swear I was playing a game against some kid in the States. Kid you not, I asked this kid, how old are you? He's like, I'm 13. I'm like, you're beating me by like 70 points.
That's a good indicator that you should go help her make dinner.
Like, I'm like, how are you beating me by 70 points? You're 13. Like, how? Like, but you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I can be a professional, like NBA, PlayStation. They are, you know, they are.
I know.
I know my limits.
But
And
you have how many companies? Like you're doing okay.
I'm doing okay because that's my niche, you know,
Right.
marketing and consulting and helping flipping businesses that are dying. That's what I do. That's what I've done. I come from a retail background. You know, I know the retail laws, regulations, standards in the back of my head like this. You know, I worked for big companies, but
You're a boss.
I'm a boss. That's it. BAWS. That's how I say I'm a boss, right?
Boss.
But it just comes to a point where, you know, as you're saying, it's you know your limits.
Right.
What I think a lot of, and I think this is what's lacking in this city. It's everyone's trying to do everything.
I do see a lot of that.
What do you think of that? Like, what do you think? I mean, what should this like? Should I like send all these people like Facebook messages to them? I'm like, yo, listen, go watch my video. It's for you. Like, you know, what I mean? like watch this. It's for you. You know, like what do you think about that? Like, do you think people should? Because then that ruins business for people that are actually good at what they do. You know, imagine like today, like just because I heard you say little things about being a success coach, you know, imagine tomorrow morning and like, yo, you know what? I read the book. I'm a success coach now. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like. That will ruin your business in that way, in a way that where a client that you could actually end up helping on the long term, that because, you know, maybe I gave them a cheaper fee than you, or maybe I said, you know what, she's doing it for 3 months, I'm going to do it for 3 weeks. So I'm going to charge you 1/3 of what she would have charged you. And this guy's like, oh, okay, I'll save a little bit of money. But I just ruined his business right now.
I think the onus is on the person who's hiring, because it goes both ways, right? I think that you're going to do yourself the biggest service if you stick in an area that you can bring the most value.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, if someone is willing to pay you 1/3 of the price, that's not the person I wanted to attract anyway. So you can have them.
Okay.
You know, like the person who I want to attract will see the value that I bring, and if they're willing to lower their expectations to meet a cost and take someone with less experience or, you know, credibility, then that's okay. They'll learn. And if it happens to work out, great. And if it doesn't, in, you know, this time 12 months from now, they're going to be like, I'm ready. I called you earlier, Samantha. I didn't go with you because you were too expensive, but now I know that I really need your services. And like at that point we'll talk, but it's not, I totally get what you're saying in that, like, just stick to what you're good at, and I do agree with it. But on the same time, like, if you have additional skills that you can be monetizing, I'm cool with that too.
No. I mean, you have to have the skill. Like I said again, I know I'm not a singer. You know, I know I'm not a basketball player, right? I mean, I can do it for fun. That's all. But I'm not gonna pretend to be a professional, you know, NBA player right now, because I'm not. Because I'm not LeBron James. I'm not Michael Jordan.
If you're pretending, it's a different story.
Right? Because that's what it is. Most of the people they're trying to be something they're not. They have their niche, and because now they think, oh, there's someone else that's doing it, because they're getting that exposure, that because they're good at it. I mean, you're good at what you do.
Thanks.
Right? And I'm good at what I do.
Yeah, you are.
Right? So, but I can do you can do me, right? So it's like now people are going out, they're like, oh, well, I'm going to be like Samantha. And I'm going to start doing exactly what she does, and I'm going to be as good as she is. It doesn't work because I'm not you.
I get it, and I honestly do agree, but I'm also thinking of the flip side, and I went into what I'm doing because I saw someone do it, and I thought this is really a life that I can make for myself.
But you're good at it.
But I wasn't when I started. I mean, not to say that I was bad, but like I had to start somewhere. And I wasn't born a success coach. You don't go to school to be a success coach.
No, you don't.
Right?
But I mean, you know, your background, like you said, you know, within 5 years, you got 5 promotion, you got double your salary. That indicates that you have done it for yourself.
Right. That's true.
Right? It's like, would I record a song and listen to it on my loudspeaker at
you're
home?
Gonna have to sing for me now, right?
No, not gonna happen. But
the wife's in the background like, no.
Because she heard enough of that. Like, I think like sometimes like now she has these things in her ear, I think she puts in. But you know, like, I know I'm not gonna do it. Like, I won't listen to my own music.
Right.
Like, so I'm not gonna try to sell it to someone else. I think that's a question a lot of people should ask. Like, you know, you did it, so now you can show other people how to do it.
That's totally fair. I think that before you start something and start charging for your services, is take a good hard look at the value you bring to the table. And if you feel that on any level that you shouldn't be, or that you're not the best solution, find something else that you are the best solution.
Because we're all good at something.
Right.
I give you that. Like, we all have our niche. We all have our thing that we're good at. You know,
Right.
some people are good at singing. Some people are good at, you know, making things out of like sculptures and all that stuff. Some people are good at painting. You know, some people are good at talking. Some people, you know, everyone has their own thing. But it just, you have to have done it to be able to show other people how to do it.
Yep.
And on that note, we're gonna take a little break, and we will be right back. All right, we're back. We talked about a lot of things. I want to know, what's your plan next? What's next? This book, you know, you have chapters.
Yeah.
You have your business that's booming, and just everything. Well, do you want to retire now? Like,
yeah, you know what? If I had the option, I wouldn't retire now. Honestly, I'm so like in my zone, and I'm just loving the trajectory that things are on. But I can't retire anyway, so that off the table. Can't retire yet.
but you wouldn't want to either.
No.
So I mean, even if you had the option,
Then I would just write like another book in retirement, and then do the whole thing all over.
if you had, now that you did self-publishing,
Yeah.
if you had the financial goal for it, would you go into like the other road where, you know, you'd get with the publisher?
I mean, even if a publisher approached me and said, listen, we read the book and we'd really love to represent you, it's not off the table. It's just to get it out into the world. It wasn't something that was feasible for me at the time. But
Have you ever said this on any show, that you're open to other publishers yet, or is the first time? No. All right, publishers, you get this shit. I want my cut. I want 50%.
50.
Okay, 49.9.
There we go.
We're not negotiating anymore. Okay, it's not off the table. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because that means that you're open to pretty much anything to
But
make
I
this.
mean, I have to be realistic too, is that I didn't write this book to make money. It was never to, you know, a get-rich-quick plan. It was because I genuinely felt that I had something valuable that could...
Product placement.
Is this another one? I genuinely thought I had something of value that people could actually use and benefit from. And so if a publisher wants to bring me under their umbrella to get that in more people's hands and take the cut that they take, because it's a lot,
It's a lot, yeah.
I'll be happy. I'll be happy because I just wanted to be in the world. That's why I did
Like,
it.
you talked about New York's bestseller, right?
Yeah.
New York Times bestseller, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we have something like this in Montreal, like Montreal Times bestseller? Why don't we do that
Do
and
it.
we make this, like, how does it work? I don't know. How does it work? How do you
be
get
a
started with
bestseller?
that? Yeah.
Oh, it's different. I mean, Amazon has their bestseller list. New York Times has their bestseller. I mean, it's all a different algorithm based on the amount of books that you sell, on how fast you can sell them, on their ratings. It's
We should have the, like, Montreal independent bestseller. Like,
there's actually a pretty decent sized author community here.
but I don't think any of them has as much as exposure as you do. I'm sorry, but no offense to you guys. Like, send me your books. Maybe it'll be a nice table thing. No, I'm kidding. But I when I saw your book first come out, and I was like, holy shit, there are people publishing. And then I just saw more and more and more and more people talking about it. And I was like, okay, like, she's doing it.
It helps that I have a background in marketing, because I know what the hustle is like behind the scenes, and I know who to approach and how to approach them. Even if I don't have their personal contact information, I have, you know,
You know how to get in touch with them.
Right. and how to build a solid pitch. And once I have their attention, how to keep it. And it doesn't mean that I've closed every opportunity, but I do have a leg up. I mean, I'm pretty fortunate to have had that experience, so it helps.
So now where do you go from this? Like you said, you talked a little earlier about you have another book that's most probably on the way.
I'm going to sit on that for a little bit. It's on the back burner. I've got it as something that I eventually want to do, but in like the immediate term, I really want to bring bossing up online. So I mean, the ebook is out there, but I want to bring it into an e-course. So I want to turn the chapters into modules and have it something that you can interact with, because for the non-readers of the world, I want it to be something that like you can spend a few minutes on, you can work with it hands-on, use it in the context of your life, leave with something actionable after each chapter, and come back to it when you're ready.
Whenever you're ready.
Yeah.
So that's part. What about your success coach business? What's the plan with that? What do you want to do with that?
I really would love to get more awareness in the US market. So I have clients in the States actually, which is really helpful. And last year I was able to bring my business international. So I have clients in Europe, in Bali, across the globe. So I'm very, very fortunate, and now it's a matter of, you know, I've got them. How do I tell that story so that more people know of me? And I'd really like to get into the US market and have not necessarily more US clients, but exposure in the States.
How big are you on like Snapchat and Instagram? Like I mean big in the way of using it like as a user.
Snapchat, not at all.
Why?
Instagram, honestly, I just never really like vibed with the platform. I would tell you that I don't have time, and that's a lie. I make time for Instagram, I make time for Facebook. I could make time for it. I just haven't fallen in love with the platform enough for me to want to go on and check what people are doing and to put my story on there. Missed opportunity.
It's Snapchat. It's Snapchat. But you know what? I'm going to Snapchat with you right now while we're in there. That's what I'm going to do, right?
I have it. I don't even think I have it like as an app that I can still access.
And you know what? You know what they're doing right now? I'm going to Snapchat this right now. Because they're hold on. I'm going to Snapchat this right now. Like, I kid you not. Like, they literally forgot to... Have you watched any of the show What Happens at the End? I'm Snapchatting them right now. Okay, because they're supposed to bring a piece of white paper. Go get the white paper. Go, come. Look at that. Come get the white piece of paper, come. Could do rock, paper, scissors. I want you guys to do rock, paper, scissors. Do rock, paper, scissors. You laugh. Do rock, paper.
Walk
come. You get to be on camera. Come. No?
I'm coming.
But you see, like I don't know. I used to, until they did this weird update, and it's garbage. Snapchat just ruined my friendship with them.
So why do you want me on it?
It's exposure.
True. It's a free platform that, you know, if you're given the patience and the right audience, it should definitely be leveraged.
Because I think
disagree.
This is what, because for me Instagram and Facebook, it's more, I find that it's storytelling. It writing wise, like you know, you can write a big ass caption on Instagram post and post it, you know, and same thing on Facebook. But Snapchat, I find you're documenting whatever the hell you're doing.
That's a good point.
Like, you know, and I think it's super important for someone as good as you to document. Because I would love to watch your stories.
Well, I guess I need to get started then.
So Snapchat is Snapchat. Yo, pay me up. Like right now. We're almost at the end. But before I get to this white piece of paper, I think what you're doing for the entrepreneur community, for startups in Montreal, it's absolutely fantastic. So I want to give you that credit. I think the group that you started, it's phenomenal for a lot of people that are watching, that might be watching later on the group or whatnot. Send her a message, say thank you to her, because it takes guts to be like, I want to start a group and I want to keep it running. You know, it's not everybody's cup of tea.
Yeah.
You know, not everyone's gonna be like, I'm gonna put my name on a group where if it doesn't fit, if it doesn't work out, because it can affect your success on the long term. Be like, well, this person couldn't, start a group, and she started and she closed it. Like, it takes dedication, it takes balls. Fine.
Lady balls.
And I think that it takes a lot of courage to do it. So in behalf of all the people in the group and myself, I want to thank you for that, for allowing us to
appreciate it.
To help each other grow, to just everything, to connect with people. Marjorie, I find her through here. Marjorie, if you're watching.
Hey, Marjorie.
She said a lot of good things about you, so that's a good thing.
True.
But so thank you for that. Now this is the famous white piece of paper. You have to make a paper airplane out of it. When was the last time you made a paper airplane?
I don't remember. Does it have to fly? Is it always an airplane?
It's always an airplane.
Shit. Can I?
Are you confused?
No, I mean maybe a little, but I feel like
you need to watch a YouTube tutorial.
It could help, but I mean some support would be nice.
I mean the funniest thing, I haven't made a paper airplane since like grade 6.
Well, this is looking pretty.
Shit.
You keep your YouTube. I don't know if this is gonna fly. I might be just speaking too soon. No, this isn't ready yet.
That looks like a beak. I'm sorry. It looks like a bird.
Okay, but what constitutes as a plane? Like, how far does it have to fly?
It doesn't have to fly. It could be like, like.
It looks like a plane.
That looks like a plane.
Almost.
So now you're gonna autograph, sign, put your name, put the date. What are we today? We are 21st January. Oh.
We are
21st.
21st.
So when all this thing goes on like Indigo and Chapters and Grenoble and everything, I'm gonna put that on eBay and I'm gonna try to sell it for a couple $1,000.
Okay, get ready, guys. Are you ready?
All right, let's see.
It's gonna go straight into the cup. Are you ready?
Oh! It landed. It landed. You said this was my copy, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna get you to sign, autograph.
Yes.
Right here. Ooh, fresh book. Look at that.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah. So I've been thinking about the names.
What are you gonna name them?
So if it's okay with you, I'm gonna give them names of previous pets.
Okay. Are they alive or are they dead?
No. That one is gonna be Myrtle.
Myrtle?
After Myrtle the turtle.
Okay. You had a turtle named Myrtle. Okay. Okay.
And this one will be Charlie.
Charlie. That's
the
puppy?
A dog of mine, yeah.
And is he still around?
No, he's gone to doggy heaven.
Okay. And what was turtle has gone to turtle heaven, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Myrtle and Charlie, are you cool with that?
I'm cool. Myrtle and Charlie.
This is gonna take a while because I want to give you like a heartfelt message. Is that okay?
You can do that. You can do that.
Okay.
And
hold tight.
I'm gonna Instagram this moment right here, where. Ooh, look at that. Ooh. While you do that, go follow her on Instagram, Facebook, soon Snapchat, right?
No
soon
pressure.
Snapchat, no pressure. But go follow her. She is absolutely amazing to the community. She is supporting all of us to grow, and I think we should support her back. Get her book. You can go get it on Amazon, right?
That's right.
Amazon. You can get it on your website. Yep. What's the website?
SamanthaKris.com.
Samantha Kris, K-R-I-S.
That's right.
SamanthaKris.com. Go order the book.
The ones ordered through my site are all signed and shipped by me, so that's the difference. But they're much cheaper on Amazon. If you've got Amazon Prime, then it's almost free.
So, Amazon Prime, just go get it. I don't care how you get it. Just go get it. Call me. I'll get her to ship you a copy.
There we go.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you very much for coming.
Thanks for having me. This was so much fun.
And it is, and we're gonna have you back on soon as well. Until next time, keep hustling, keep grinding, and stay boss up, right?
Boss up.
Boss up.
Thanks, guys.
No.